And good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Tawana Andrew here with a check of your forecast. Brian Good has the day off, so you got little old me. We're starting off this week, and it's a cloudy start to the week as well. Good morning to you, Ashley, who's apparently in need of a storm break. I feel that for sure. Good morning to you, Carol in Tell City, and good morning to Kentucky Girl. Yes, we are starting off the day certainly cloudy, but dreary in some spots. Some of you have been dealing with some drizzle throughout the morning. So it's been a Monday, certainly, in terms of the weather for sure. We have this stationary front that's just been sitting off towards our south and southwest, and we'll keep an eye on that throughout the day. But just to the north of it, we're seeing plenty of clouds, a little bit of that light rain continuing to drift on through across the region. So something we're going to keep an eye on, some of that drizzle that continues to move through the area. Notice on the radar, mainly seeing, of course, the clouds overhead right now. So things are gloomy. But for those of you further to the southwest of Louisville, you're seeing some of those clouds try to break apart and clear. And that is going to be the key to some of our highs later on this afternoon, because I would not be surprised if some of you touched 80 later on today. We'll watch it. But we're keeping an eye on some sprinkles, some drizzle in the North Vernon area over towards Carrollton. This is where most of this has been throughout the majority of the morning. And we're also keeping an eye on another little batch from Springfield south towards Dunville. So nothing too crazy, but certainly something that we'll have to continue to watch. And the radar has not been doing the greatest of jobs at picking this up for this morning. So that's something we'll watch. But here's what the clouds and that rain can do to your temperatures, right? Check out North Vernon, currently at 50 degrees. So that's a tad chilly, right? 55 in Carrollton and Seymour. And then you look off towards the southwest where we've seen some sunshine through those clouds, and it's 68 in Litchfield. Litchfield, most likely you're talking low to mid 80s for your highs this afternoon, just because you are seeing less of those clouds and a little bit more of that sunshine. So we're going to have a pretty decent temperature gradient as we continue throughout the day today. So for those of you who want some cooler, kind of a more gloomy setup, just head to the northeast. And for those of you who are just like, I want warmth, I want a little bit more sunshine, just head southwest towards Litchfield and maybe even Columbia, and you'll get a little bit of that. So we're seeing a little bit of everything. And yeah, Dave, it's chilly in Carrollton. Yeah, y'all are in the low 50s right now. Yeah, ask Litchfield for some of that warmth, basically, because they're already at 68. So just shows you what those clouds can certainly do. That is for sure. Now, here's what we're expecting throughout the rest of the day. For those of you along and south of 64, you're more likely to see these clouds thinning, a little bit more of that sunshine. So that means you're going to be warming up faster than everyone else. For those of you further to the north, and especially northeast, so we're talking North Vernon over towards Carrollton, you're going to be on the cooler side. I would not be surprised for those of you further to the northeast of Louisville if you struggled into the 60s and barely even got to 70 for your high this afternoon. So as we get towards lunch, I'm going to continue that warming trend. A lot more of us further to the south would be in the 70s as we get towards lunch. For those of you further to the north, you're going to be stuck in the 60s, it looks like. And you'll try to get over the 70-degree mark. For some of you, the question is how far over that mark will you get? For those of you further to the northeast of Louisville, as I mentioned, not as likely. But then check out, this particular model has some of us trying to jump into the low 80s. I don't know how far into the low 80s we're going to get, but that'll be fully dependent on the clouds for each and every one of us. So just keep that in mind as the day goes along. The further south you are, the better your chance to hit 80 plus as we head into the afternoon. Keeping these clouds overhead for many of us through the evening, staying dry through the evening. So those spotty areas of drizzle and those sprinkles that we've dealt with this morning, that trend drops off significantly as we get past lunchtime. And we do look to stay on the drier side through the afternoon, even into the evening, into early tomorrow morning. Now, keep in mind for those of you with allergies, I'm raising my hand here. We are still watching those pollen counts for both trees and grasses pretty high. I know a lot of you may try to take advantage of the dry weather today and cut your grass. If you know your neighbor is going to do that today, take your allergy medication. Don't be like me and forget to do that. And then as we deal with some more of that rain tomorrow, that should help to drop a little bit more of that pollen count across the area, especially in terms of grasses. So some good news. But then as soon as we head into Wednesday, we get some really nice weather back into the forecast. Here we go again. Those pollen counts going right back up. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as we head over the next couple of days. I know allergies have really been getting a lot of people lately. Jeremy says it feels good in E-Town. Can you share, Jeremy, some of that warm weather that you have with poor Dave up in Carrollton? He's a little cold this morning. But yeah, we're going to keep an eye on those temperatures throughout the day, and we'll have to watch for some rain chances tomorrow. So this is the thing that I am going to be keeping a very close eye on as we head the next 24 to 48 hours, that potential for some storms for tomorrow. So we do look to start off very early Tuesday morning on the dry side. I'm talking 4 or 5 a.m. pretty early in the morning. Now, as we approach around 6:30, 7 a.m. tomorrow, a lot of the models are trying to show some more of those showers and thunderstorms pushing back into our region. So we'll have to watch for that. This particular model is not trying to do a whole lot with them. Some other models are trying to put down a little heavier rain for the morning commute tomorrow. So that's something I'll watch closely as we approach 8:30, 9 o'clock. Some more of those scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms around, but all of this will be pushing gradually to the northeast as we head between really the 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. time frame. So that's our first batch of rain. For those of you in southern Indiana, as we get closer to around 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, you're going to be dealing with some scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two, while everybody else further to the south going to be drier. So it really depends on where you are tomorrow, but the rain chance lingers a little bit longer through the morning for those of you in southern Indiana, while everyone else further to the south stays on the drier side. And that will impact temperatures, because for those of you further to the north, you can be stuck in the 50s and 60s for tomorrow morning. But then further to the south of the 64, we could be seeing 70s, 80s in some cases. And that warmth and the moisture that we'll have across the area will be the catalyst to some storms that we could see move through. So let's just dive in to what we are talking about in terms of Tuesday afternoon's storm chances, because yeah, we're going to be working on it. We're going to see some more of those showers and thunderstorms pushing in as we approach around 1 p.m. tomorrow. That's the current timing we have. And that is when we'll start to see some of those stronger storms start to fire up, especially once we get past around 2, 3, 4 o'clock, because we have all of that warmth, especially across Kentucky. And that is that fuel basically to the fire in this situation, where we can see a lot of these storms just blossoming across our Kentucky counties. So we'll watch for that trend. Once we get past around 6 p.m., a lot of the stronger storms are out of here, but we can still see some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms showing up in the forecast. And keep in mind, we do have portions of wave country outlook for severe weather for tomorrow. We're mainly talking south of Louisville, south of 64. So for those of you basically from Spencer County over towards Nelson County, Bullitt County, Meade County, Breckinridge County, Grayson County, Hardin County, you're underneath that marginal risk of severe weather. Everybody else further to the south, we're basically talking from the Springfield area down through Lebanon all the way into Adair County. You're on the level 2 out of 5. So that is the slight risk of severe weather for tomorrow afternoon. And keep in mind, I'm going to make sure I'm fully detailed with this. We're going to be looking at a couple of threats with this: the potential for damaging wind gusts, the potential for some hail, and that chance for heavy rain. So we can see around 1 to 2 inches of rain in those spots that see the multiple rounds of thunderstorms for tomorrow afternoon. So mainly south of the parkways, that threat for some of those higher rainfall totals is there. For those of you further to the north, you could barely even see half an inch. So it really depends on where you are. And in terms of the timing of everything for tomorrow, we're right now looking at the 1 to 5 p.m. time frame for some of those stronger storms pushing through the area. So a lot to watch with this. Ashley, you are asking, is there a tornado threat with this? No, the tornado threat really is not for our area. It's really to our south, because for areas further to our south, especially towards Tennessee, since they'll be drier, a little bit longer, and able to warm up more, there's just a little bit more on their plates and gives them a better opportunity to see that tornado threat. But for us, we're mainly watching that initial damaging wind threat and the potential for hail as these storms are going to start firing up basically in our area and then racing off towards the south and southeast. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Of course, I'll be watching it closely. I'll be with you for midday today. I'll be with you again from sunrise to midday tomorrow. So I got you. I got your back with this as well. Peggy, oh no. Peggy says her dryer broke. So I hung my clothes out to dry. Less rain and more sunshine, please. Well, through the afternoon, you should be A-okay, even through this evening. But keep in mind, it may be a little bit muggy. So that's a factor with some of those clothes, hanging them outside. So just keep that in mind for you, Peggy, if you're hanging those clothes outside. Maybe just take them back in by the time we get towards sunset so things don't get weirdly muggy and buggy. I've noticed that happened to me a couple of times with my clothes outside. So just be extra careful with that. And then as we look ahead to the next couple of days, we have a lot going on. So we're going to be watching for some more of those showers and thunderstorms, of course, for Tuesday. Then we're going to be keeping an eye on a little bit more of that rain as we head towards Saturday as well. So there looks to be a front that's going to kind of move towards us as we get into late Friday and Saturday, bringing some more of those showers into our forecast. So Saturday is looking quite rainy, and a lot of the models are really agreeing on just Saturday. We have to deal with some of that rain. And once we get into Sunday, drier weather coming back into the forecast then. So only half of the weekend looking pretty soggy. Just a recap for Katie or anybody else who is joining back in. For tomorrow's storms, we're really watching that potential for the strongest storms as we get towards 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. So in between that time frame, Eastern time, I'm going to clarify that, 1 to 5 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, that's when we have the best opportunity for some of those stronger storms. This is mainly going to be for those of you south of 64, but especially south of the Parkway. So I'm talking Washington County, Marion County, for those of you in Greene, Taylor, Adair counties, your threat is higher than everyone else's. So just keep that in mind for tomorrow. You'll notice that it's going to be pretty warm tomorrow. You'll notice that you'll even see some of that sunshine trying to get through tomorrow, and all of that is going to help to fuel some of those storms that we'll see for really your Tuesday afternoon. I almost said Friday afternoon. I almost just erased the whole week. Can you tell I'm a little tired? But yeah, so that's something to keep in mind, mainly for those of you further to the south. But I want everyone to be weather aware, because some of these storms may start off in portions of Indiana and then get stronger as they dive to the south. So I don't want you to think just because you're in Indiana, I don't have to pay attention. No, I want everybody to be weather aware, but that threat is a little bit greater for those of you further to the south. Lauren, I love that. Okay with Friday. Can we just skip the whole week and get back to the weekend and then do like 7 more weekends in a row? That would be great. But as we look ahead to the rest of the 10-day, yes, mainly just talking about the storm chance on your Tuesday, that rain chance on Saturday, and that's really the only rain chances that we have over the next 10 days. So overall, not too bad, but we just have to watch that severe threat for tomorrow. So, yep, a lot going on for tomorrow. A few light showers for today. So overall not too bad of a Monday, but of course we're just going to be focused in on what's going to be happening as we get into tomorrow. So make sure you have that Wave Weather app downloaded, ready to go. I'm going to hop off and get ready for midday. So you'll see me on midday, and you'll see me with the Ninkies at noon as well. And then we'll repeat all of this all over again tomorrow. Have a fantastic Monday. And for those of you watching on TV, I'll see you in a bit.